Welcome to the... Please leave your message for AFK with Ninja.
Ninja! Or ninja!
It's time for another solo dolo yolo bolo trollo, and did I say solo episode of AFK with Ninja. Today, I am laying it all out there of how the Mixer deal went down and how I navigated through the ups and downs. How much money did I make? What did I think when it failed? Did I want to quit? We're getting into all of it. Stick around.
I'm just gonna literally jump straight into it. You can,
Yeah.
if you don't want to answer it, but
No,
I
I got
think
it, dude. I got it. Fucking send it, dude.
Mixer deal. How did you first hear about Mixer?
I always knew Mixer existed. It was always just, again, it was always like nothing could ever compete with Twitch. You look at the product and what, like the deliverables and what a company and a website has to offer for a live streaming platform side of things. It was one of the things where, dude, it's just so big and there's no reason to go anywhere else. I always did Mixer, but it was always just, again, it was such a small platform. It was like, oh yeah, this is Microsoft's like little baby. Like, cool. They wanted to have it. Again, I never really did any crazy deep dive into Mixer prior to when we were like, okay, well, in case Twitch doesn't come with something that, complements what we think we're worth, let's do some research and like, let's look around. So immediately my team was like, well, of course there's always Mixer, there's Microsoft's company. And after that, I started watching a bunch of streams, interacting in the chat, taking a look at the product, looking at like the top viewership amongst streamers, like what numbers were people pulling. And of course, nothing could hold a candle to Twitch on the size aspect, right? They really just had the entire community in the genre in a deadlock. But I did love it, man. I loved the embers and the sparks. Like it was a brilliant idea. Like the chat interaction was, Twitch couldn't even compete or even come close. Or it does now, I think. But even then, like the chat interaction and the interaction of the interface with Mixer was it was just too good. It was too good. Like you could, I still have this viewer that I had when I made the deal. Her name was Cheryl or Blizzard 818, I think is what it was. But Blizzard, I know is a name for sure. And she would always throw 1,000 embers at me, which is like $10. And it would be a shark. She would do like we call it Cheryl the shark. And the shark would just eat embers and like it would pop up through the stream and just eat these little diamonds. And it would go through the video and go through the chat. And it would pop up in the chat as well, kind of like a super chat on YouTube and what it is now on Twitch too. But dude, it was just awesome. I loved it. It was so interactive. It was so fun. It was literally one of the reasons I kept streaming so much, was because I was like, dude, like I'm still having so much fun, like interacting with the chat. And unfortunately, they had a lot of negatives too. That
the good old email sign up, eh?
Yes, dude. I've talked about this a lot. Yeah. But like, it's always good to have it on. It's always good to have it on the podcast. So it'll be up and out there forever, and have everything in one space. But one of the biggest L's that ultimately, I mean, dude, I don't want to say this led to Mixer's downfall, but I will say there are things that if they were implemented in place and we took our time and didn't like rush the announcement, and if Mixer actually could have acted on these things quickly without getting approval from like 100 other people up at the Microsoft side of things, it would have been much better. It would have been much quicker. But unfortunately, it's the same reason that it takes 1 billion years for something to change at YouTube on YouTube's streaming platform, because everything has to go through Google. And it has to be approved, to millions and millions and tens of millions of other people that also stream. So it's just not as simple as it should be or as it could be. And if you guys knew, I mean, when I was streaming on Mixer, I think I was pulling my first stream ever was 360,000 viewers. It was crazy, like massive. I think that day alone, they had over like 5 to 10 million like concurrent people or unique people like come onto the website. And I guarantee you they retained maybe 5% of those. Like I guarantee you 5% of those people didn't even were the only ones that made an account, because you needed a Hotmail account.
Dude, I watched you and just didn't make an account because it was too difficult.
Yeah, it was hard, bro. And like,
I guess I'm not watching you again.
Yeah, man. You want to talk about like removing as many barriers to get people into something, right? Like if I have a gambling website, or if I have just any website, like it's going to be create an account. It's going to be any email, put in the password. Don't care what it is. Like I hate when people are like, I hate PlayStation Network. I hate because you can't have multiple numbers. Like you can't have more than like 1 or 9. Like if it's like 193, it's 3 numbers in a row. Can't have it. I hate that. It's like let me make my password whatever I want it to be. If I want it to be 9865432112345 question mark asterisk, right? Like that's what it should be. But it's like only have one symbol, can't have this many numbers, things like that. It's terrible because some people, that alone will turn off some people from making an account. But dude, you needed this Hotmail account. And even if you had a Hotmail account, I had every single one of my family members, including my wife, need to reach out to Mixer support to like verify their email so that they actually got the email like verification to make the username. It was abysmal. It was a nightmare. And we told them for months. And I was like, guys, I understand your Microsoft. I understand your Hotmail, your Outlook, right? Like, but please just let people make whatever they want. And they're like, no, it's just like, it's so ingrained in what the website is and what they're trying to do that they wouldn't allow like Gmail or any other fucking email. And that was just one of their first biggest, just ginormous L's. I mean, that was the most, in my opinion, one of the worst things that they just never changed, because God knows how many people just never came back and never made an account. And if my entire family needs help and assistance by like sending an email and like reaching out to like, Mixer employees to like log into their account and have access to their account and create it, like, dude, 1 in 100 people are going to go out of their way to do that. Like it was just a huge massive L.
It was reported by Forbes. When Ninja signed with Mixer, Forbes said the multi-year contract there was worth between $20 and $30 million at 29 years old. Can you confirm or deny those allegations?
I won't say how much exactly, but I was so curious where they got that number from, and it just also goes without saying, like, you can just never trust anyone, dude. Like even the XQC deal, like the $100 million deal, dude, it wasn't like 100 million cash. Like I would bet a large amount of money, and there's nothing wrong with this, by the way. Not throwing shade at my boy. I love my boy Felix. Wish nothing but the best for him and every streamer. But like, guaranteed that money was either like some sort of something involved with gambling money, stake percentage, like stake. Like it wasn't just all cash, and they made it seem like it was in the announcement. Like it's very misleading, right? Yeah, it's the same thing with the Mixer Forbes announcement. I don't know who leaked that to them. We were actually really pissed when the article came out because A, it was wrong, and B, we didn't want
like, if you're gonna do it, at least get it right.
Yeah. You know what I mean, dude? Like, come on, it was offensive.
You're off by 30. Come on, Forbes.
Right, come on, dude. Like, what are you guys doing?
Can you say if it was all straight cash or if it was equity, or do you don't want to?
No, I'll say no. This was still, from what I know, like one of the biggest, like legitimate business, one of the most legitimate exclusive streaming deals still so far. And it wasn't like chopped up into like equity or anything like that, or it was just a raw deal.
Raw, good old, gotta hit 100 hours a week.
Yup. Dude, I also streamed 300 hours a week though. I'm sorry, not hours a week, 300 hours a month. Dude,
really?
this is another thing I was saying. I know you did, but like, I'm going to dive a little bit further into this. Like, there were some people that said it was a money grab, a cash grab. Like, I wanted this streamed platform and this deal to make so much sense and to work, like, more than anyone, probably more than Mixer did. I have a huge, it's not an imposter syndrome, but it's like, if somebody pays me a certain amount of money, I want them to get what I'm not this person that's like, get the bag and get out. I wanted it to freaking work. And the proof is in the pudding. Like, the proof is literally there. My requirement was 100 hours a month. I streamed 300 hours a month for like a year straight, which is how long I was there. It was for a year before it shut down. I was streaming my ass off. Like, it was not for lack of want. I did not want the reason that it failed to be that I just didn't, you know what I mean? I did my minimum and I left, or I stopped. Like, I was live all the time playing Fortnite, grinding the shit out of it. Like, Ian, this is when Fortnite sucked too. Like, so I really was just like putting in the hours, and it still failed. So,
yeah, I mean, I think working for you, I can see it on the back end. I think people on the front end, like, who are just a viewer, can't really see it. But any time like we have a sponsor stream or like anything sponsored, or like even with the podcast, like, oh, how did this do? your first question is always like, what did the brand say?
Yeah.
Are they happy? Like that is literally the first text as soon as you get off stream.
Same thing with even my boy Kelby May, who was like my first, like he was my guy. I guess you would say he was like my Andre, but like not an assistant. I don't know. Like I would always like he was my guy who like got me all my brands and stuff like that back in the day when I was with Loaded, and it was the same way. Like I was always just like, what do they think? Like tell me what's going on. What are they thinking? Are they happy? Do they want more? Like I know that it's on the contract, but if they want, like, I'll tweet out a couple more things. Like, I always just wanted the brands to be happy because I just always wanted people to have the best experience if they were working with me. So, and I still am like that to this day.
I mean, Kelby was more, I don't know him, but he sounds like more of an agent on that.
Yeah, he was my agent for sure, but he, you know.
Yeah. I get it.
Love you, Kelby.
We're going AFK with Ninja. What's he gonna say?
My mods had like monthly or like bi-weekly meetings with Mixer to tell them all the things that they could have done to improve the platform. Not a single one of those things was changed or ever acted upon. That's number one. Number two, I had no idea this was happening. I think I found out like 3 days before they announced it, right? So I wasn't sitting here with like weeks of preparation or even days of preparation, like leading up to like the fall of it. It was kind of like I got a call from my boy, and he was like, "Yeah, Tyler, this is like big news. I got to tell you something." I was like, "All right, can you tell me now?" He's like, "I have to wait. I have to tell you in a couple of days." I was like,
"Oh, did he call you?"
Yeah, I was like, "Okay, thanks, dude." Like my heart's like in my stomach, and I'm like freaking out. And then we find out like the day before they announced it and told everyone, it's like Mixer's gone, dude.
Were you streaming that day?
I have no idea, bro. I blacked out that entire year, to be completely honest. I think it wasn't COVID, but in general, like I was in my feelings that year of Mixer. I was just in stream. I was in grind mode, right? I made that deal. I wanted it to work. So I was just in my basement in Illinois streaming every day.
I think that's when we started, when you went back to Twitch.
Yeah. Was
it like late 2019, I think?
That's all a blur, bro.
I just remember being in my bedroom. That's all I remember.
Yep.
Dark times.
It's all a blur, bro. The darkest literally the darkest of times, bro. There's that meme. There's a meme on the internet of like 28 of like 20 the year 2000 till 2018 or 2017, and it's just like, wouldn't it be nice? I don't know. It's just some like crazy like happy-go-lucky meme, and it's Ryan Gosling, just like, you know, happy and playing all of his little, you know, sexy roles where he's smiling and having a great time. And then it goes, and then it switches over to 2018 through 2023, and it's Ryan Gosling in Blade Runner, and to where it's to where it switches over to the, you know, Ryan Gosling in Blade Runner meme where he's just like sad, depressed. There's you know, it's raining all the time, and Memory Reboot's playing, and it's just like, this has been the last 5 years, dude. It's just changed, man.
How did you strategize afterwards as we wrap up here? After that downfall, you know, Twitter was going crazy. You know, you got paid out, but it's also like, what do I do next?
Yeah, the goal wasn't to just make the nut and leave. It was, or like the bag, right? You know what I mean? Get your bag, dude. Like, it was, again, we really genuinely wanted it to succeed. So when it didn't, we were like, dude, holy shit. I mean, my first question was, I was like, oh my God, is this my fault? And they were like, no. They just, you know, said, no more, no mas Mixer. So our goal was, again, I was like, okay, we're still massive. We're still relevant. We're still, you know, one of the biggest streamers in the world, if not the biggest gamer in the world. Let's strike another deal. Let's figure it out. Where are we going to live? It's like our only two options really were, and I've talked about this before. This was where the birth of multi-streaming, the idea of multi-streaming, the baby child, the brainchild of Jess and I came in. We had three options: YouTube, and this is in no particular order: YouTube, Twitch, or multicast and stream everywhere and don't take a deal. Of course, we wanted to, like, again, I wanted to go back to Twitch, dude. Like, there's so much dark drama about this shit, man. I loved Twitch so much, dude. And I felt like I got literally cucked, sucked, and fucked, like, in every way. I just always felt like I was just, you know, not appreciated. And so it was tough. Like, I always just felt like they were kind of like spitting in my face with like the offers and things like that. But we ended up coming to like a nice agreement where we're like, okay, it's either this deal with Twitch or multicasting. Like, YouTube was off the table. YouTube had never really, I think once I went through my dark phase on YouTube where I just started re-uploading like old Fortnite videos for like 6 months straight and then uploading Apex and League of Legends and just basically killing my channel, essentially. They were just like, yeah, dude, this guy will never take YouTube seriously. And at the end of the day, I don't fucking take YouTube seriously. I'll admit that. I'll say it out loud, bro. I don't care.
You do care. You just don't play the game.
I do care. I just don't care enough to play the game, right? I'm not going to sit there and read in fake intros for like, you know, 20 minutes and clickbait people. Like, that's because that's what it's about, bro. I don't have to clickbait on my Twitch channel, dude. I just fucking play games and I shit in everyone and I'm entertaining, right? Like, but when you just to play the game of YouTube, bro, you just have to come up with the most clickbaity titles and thumbnails, and you just have to bait people in. And I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. Like, I've had hundreds of conversations with Mr. Beast and Jimmy and Courage, and they're like, "This is what you have to do, Tyler." And I'm just like, "No, dude, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to freaking play dress up and do a Fortnite fucking fashion show for views. Like, I'm not." So,
even though that video is pretty funny, the one that Courage filmed.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, bro, he's just got it down. Like, I love gaming, dude. I love playing the game. I don't like content like that. I mean, I don't know. Structured content for me has always just felt like, I don't know, planned, fake in a way. Dude, it's a give and take. I don't like, because like when I plan to do some Among Us streams, like, and that's planned content, it's fun as shit, right? Like, I like the off the cusp, just kind of gaming and chit chatting. It's just comfortable. It's safe. It's what I've always known. It's what I go back to. It's what I did like forever. And since I've ever started streaming.
Yeah, it's like you're not planning day by like how the interaction is going. You're just planning the day to play with your buddies.
Literally,
and it's
like,
fun.
what's the day? I'm gonna log on and I'm gonna play. Like, that's it. Like, that's my plan, and whatever happens. So, it was a lot easier during the beginning of Fortnite when everyone was on, and we were like, "Oh, dude, we can do whatever we want. Like, let's just play." I already knew I was gonna play with everybody. It was gonna be lit. But back in the day, it was just like 10 years ago. It was just me logging on, playing MLG playlists and Halo Reach, like, and doing 1v1s. Like, that's all I knew what was going to happen. And I loved it. It was just me streaming, talking to my viewers. It was always about the viewers. So.
This is the AFK Chatroom. AFK Chatroom. AFK Chatroom.
Hi, Ninja. I just want to say that I love you, and I've been a huge fan of you for years, and I am still obsessed with your Fortnite videos. I love you so much. You're literally like, you're so amazing.
From Flowy, what are finances like as a streamer? As in, apart from super chats and perhaps partnerships, what is it like? Also, how do you keep having fun with video games?
What are finances like? Does that mean like what are like how do you make money?
Yeah. Apart from like the usual like streaming, like subs and donations.
I get asked this question a lot. This is usually a question for parents and people that are like trying, like they're curious about whether or not they want to let their kids do this and if it's a viable way of income. So there's so many different ways to make money. Unfortunately, all of it involves having an audience. So there's ad revenue when you're playing ads. There's subscriptions where people can subscribe to your stream because they want to support you. And then there's donations. And most platforms have what's the word I'm looking for? Like an on-site way to donate. So it's not PayPal, it's not credit card, like directly to a PayPal or anything like that. It's literally like
safer.
Yeah, it's a lot safer, no chargebacks, so it's very safe. So, and in my opinion, and by the way, I 100% recommend that everyone do this, especially if you're a small streamer. Like, do not have your PayPal out there. In my opinion, like, don't have people donate through Streamlabs and things like that. You can, but it's, you know, if you're established, do it, because there's text to speech and it's funny and shit. It can be great. But if you're a small streamer, a chargeback could like literally screw you, especially if someone's donating like $50 or $100 and they charge back, and then now you're $100, you have $100 less, and you have to like pay the chargeback fee. It's super crazy. So to be safe, you eliminate all those, and you just only allow people to donate through the platform, which is great. But then there's sponsorships, and there's, you know, endorsements and things like that, and those come with networking and going to events like TwitchCon and you know, reaching out. It's just networking at the end of the day. It's a lot of work. It's not easy. It's not for everybody. And it just takes a lot of work. Like, if you want to get paid by a company that you like and enjoy, like a gaming company, like let's just take Dead by Daylight, for example. It's a very small community. Well, actually, it's a very big community, a very passionate community. And if you wanted to get paid by them to do like a stream or something like that, like I would start by streaming the game and creating content on YouTube and Twitch and wherever, and TikTok. B, like, follow the developers on Twitter and try to interact with them. And then C, like, you know, go to the parties at TwitchCon and go to their events and things like that, and show up whenever they're doing live stuff, and, you know, be like, yeah, I'm a content creator, blah, 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 blah. You know, it's just, again, it's a lot of work. And unfortunately, like a normal 9-to-5 job, the money doesn't come right away. It comes later. So great question though. Floy, thank you for asking, and I hope you have a wonderful day. And there you have it, folks. We've reached the end of another epic AFK with Ninja episode. If you've enjoyed the journey thus far, please consider leaving a rating, review, and hitting that follow button. We have a ton of incredible guests coming your way, and I want you to be the first to know when a new episode drops. Until next time, catch you soon.
It's